I want to talk, first of all, about Andrew Tate, the situation that he is in, the case. How do you feel about it? What do you think? Obviously, most of us think this is a complete setup, quieting effect, trying to shut him up, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it.
So I talked to my team about this actually, because every time something like this happens, it's like a rock the boat moment and everyone sort of has to calibrate to this new reality. And just for a second, imagine like how stressful that is when you go through life and you know that every day you could get arrested today.
BRAYNECAST.
Because I remember, I've known them for a while. So let's see, the first time we hung out was like 6 years ago, I believe. I remember about a year after that, we were in Dubai and he got banned from everything. Just his Instagram got banned, then he got it back with the same day, and then it got banned again. It came up, like the order came from up top. That was the last time he had Instagram. And this just kept happening. But if you can get banned any moment, that already sucks. But then if people with guns can come and put you in a jail, that sucks so much worse. You know, just imagine the stress that you carry with you. So for the situation that they're in now, obviously they, to an extent, they saw it coming because like the UK has been after them for a while, you know, and then I think that it was a very conscious decision not to travel to the UK. Like I wouldn't go there if I were them. But then it surprised me that the Americans just decided, well, let's put him into custody and let's see if we can extradite him. And the way that they've been handling it has been very odd, in my humble opinion. I think everyone is entitled to due process. No, like even if you don't like the person, even if you disagree with the person, all of that is good. But still, you're innocent until proven guilty. And it feels like we've gone way past that. It's like, yeah, no, these are bad people. Put them into solitary confinement, feed them nothing, just treat them like absolute thugs. And I don't think that's right. I think obviously if you're wanted in another country and you can get another country to put you into custody, well, that all right. We can say a lot about that, but I don't think it's right that you then get treated like dirt. And I think that's a sad thing. And they're fighting it pretty hard. There's a couple of important dates coming up in terms of court hearings. I see some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. And these are exciting times. Yes, and trying times as well.
I saw an interesting post. I believe it was from Tate himself or whoever's posting on his account. And it said, what do you think would be happening if Putin and Russia decided that they wanted to extradite any average American? Do you think it would look this way?
Well, I think that would be a very different story. But in our reality, I read a book by what's his name? He wrote "Welcome to the Desert of the Real." Slavoj Žižek. He's a philosopher and a very odd dude as well. But I read his book; it was good, and he talks about this where, like, especially in the West, we have a certain worldview. And some people are the good guys and some people are the bad guys. Now, obviously, the Russians are the bad guys. The Chinese are the bad guys. Don't know about the Philippines. Don't think we talk a lot about the Filipinos. But you talk good about them, so I'm going to assume they are good guys.
If you listen to Tate, they're all Chinese.
Yes. Well, exactly, yes. I've never been. I should go. Like, I've heard good things. But there's a couple traditional bad guys. They play the bad guys in movies. If you think about a bad guy, well, might have a Russian accent. Germans were also bad guys for a while, but they seem to be the good guys now. And then we have the good guys. Now, the UK is the good guys. Like these are the civilized people. They can do no wrong. And then you see the stuff that they're doing, and it's sort of a weird disconnect. It's very similar to in the West, we had this image of New Zealand, for example, as sort of a weird hobbit place. It's next to Australia. It's very cute. You know, the people, they can do nothing wrong. And then COVID hit, and they were starting to put people in internment camps, making them stay there. It was like the weirdest possible shit, because they had the female prime minister, I believe. And it's just such a weird contrast of how you see them in your mind's eye. We've been like, James Bond is British, so he's a good guy. So the British are the good guys. And then you see this. Maybe this is not how the good guys act. You know, it's an odd thing.
Maybe it's all backwards, you know? Like maybe Russia's the good guys and China's the good guys,
Maybe.
and America and the UK are the bad guys. Because if you look at it through a certain lens, it's sure how it looks to me.
I can't imagine that being real.
I think it is, bro. That's my opinion. I think Russia is the good guys in the world, and I think we've just been programmed to think the wrong things. And the people who run the media, they're in charge of the information that we get, and they put out there what they want us to believe. And I've watched enough of Tate content to think a little bit more in a different manner than what I used to think. That's for sure.
There's a Dutch dude. He's on Twitter, and the only thing he does every day, he sees the new police report. So a lot of police, not officers, but offices have Twitter, and they put out like arrest reports, and then they will say, you know, a man arrested for pretending to be a police officer, and he stole, I don't know, $10,000 off an old lady. And the only thing he does is he looks at the pictures that they use, like the profiling pictures. And then every single time they use a picture of a white man being arrested, like the handcuffs around the white hands. And then he asks, like, hey, was this a white guy that was pretending to be a cop and stole money off the old lady? Or there was like a assault case where someone threw acid in someone else's face, and again it was white hands being cuffed. And the only thing he asks is like, hey, is this what you keep using this picture of the white hands? What's happening? And I think on a large scale, a lot of propaganda is like that, where it's just small shit, but you get constantly bombarded with it, and before you know it, you actually start believing it.
I think so too. And I think that is the biggest problem with the world today. Is it's not necessarily the people pulling the strings, it's all the people that believe them. Because if people would think a little bit more constructively or deconstructively, however you want to put it, they might see through what's going on, and we might not be dominated by these forces above with all their taxes and their rules and their laws that don't make sense, the laws that only seem to apply to people that they want them to apply to. Because as we know, the Epstein list is running around free and clear in Hollywood movies and running governments and
that was a big misunderstanding. You know, the whole Epstein thing. Man just had a vacation island. You know, don't ask, don't think about it.
Palm Beach Pete, that is basically Epstein. I'm not going to say he's Epstein, but he's definitely his twin brother. Something weird going on out there. I saw a video where two guys pulled up next to him, rolled down their window, and said, "Hey, Jeffrey," and he looked over like this, and then drove away. Palm Beach Pete. Yeah.
That is wild. Who knows, man? I'm ready to believe almost anything at this point. Everything has gotten so weird, and I feel like it's gotten worse. It was pretty bad before COVID, but it got worse when Trump got elected the first time. Then COVID hit, and now everything is just really bizarre. Like I remember Epstein suiciding, you know, and everyone was like, "Bro, come on!"
But everybody bought
come
it.
on
like,
now.
Everybody just moves on like nothing happened. You know, like where's the outrage that we're getting over Andrew Tate, who's never been convicted?
Yes, wild, man. Yes.
All right. I think that's pretty good there. I want to talk a little bit about marketing, because that's your area of expertise. I'd I like to know your thoughts, like on marketing and organic versus ads, and your opinion on what
Yes.
AI in particular, what effect it's having on the marketing niche, so to speak.
Yes. Man, obviously I run a marketing agency, so and then that's on one side of the coin. The other side is that I have to teach this stuff because I teach in the business campus. And what for me, the one of the main effects of AI is that I don't think it necessarily replaces people completely. It just allows people to be that much more productive, which means you would need fewer people. Aside from that, a, a fuck ton of people that work in marketing have basically daycare jobs. Like your job is not real. Yeah, you don't do anything really. You don't add any value. Like an AI should replace you because you suck. You know, I obviously you were at a few events that I put together. I do the events, and then one of the things that you have to do when you do events is you have to get locations, and then you have to get catering and all that good stuff. You try to get locations. You get in touch with these people, and it's always a woman. You know, this is just a general observation. It's always a woman. Just a general observation. 1 out of 3 never even answer. Like you don't get any reply. And I'm like, if I ask you, like, hey man or lady, I wanna show up with 50 people and I want to pay you 10K for that, right? You would assume that someone would be excited about this, and if they're not excited, that's also okay. But then at least answer because it's your job. It's your only job. This is the only thing you have to do. You reply to emails. That's it. Yeah. 1 in 3 don't do that, and then the other ones are either slow or they suck or they could be easily replaced by an AI, and it would be better. So, number one, in terms of productivity, it makes good people much more productive. And people that don't give a fuck about their job, they're not going to use it anyway. So then they rightfully get replaced. I would be happy if Ashley from the location that I'm trying to book, and she doesn't answer anything. If Ashley designed an AI bot, AI Ashley, and she would replace herself with it,
Maybe
that would be
she put
amazing.
me in touch with
that
her.
would be
I could
amazing.
build her an AI agent that would replace her.
Yes. Well, she doesn't reply to emails, so that's rough, you know. I want to put you into, but no. You know. But if she replaced herself,
Send her this clip.
and she didn't do anything. Yes, I should. And she didn't do anything. She just looked at the bot doing the thing. That would be better. Like she would still be paid for fuck all, basically. But at least she did one thing. But no, that really doesn't happen. So in terms of the effect, especially for agencies, it has made it easier to service more clients and to service them in a better way. I got a couple of clients for ads. I really like ads, by the way. If you're asking me like for organic versus ads, I really like ads because they're fast and they give you data fast. Now they cost money, but to an extent, money is condensed time. So the fact that you spend money saves you time on the organic side, which gets you results quicker, which then obviously you can roll it into the organic side. So now you know what works or what resonates with the audience, and we can focus our organic on that. But I really like ads because they just get you there quicker. Anyway, I have a client and we're running their Google ads right now, and they are at a budget of 800 euros a day now. So that's 24K a month, which is considerable money, right? And then every day, the way I set it up, my AI tells me, give me the stats of the last day. It says, all right, this is yesterday we had this many bookings. That's this much ROAS, return on ad spend. With the margins we know, this much money was made, so we're profitable. Compared to the day before, it was better. Compared to the week before, we're on track. And then some light goes beeping or lights up when things go wrong, and I can immediately see. In the past, this was such a hassle because you would have to build your own spreadsheets, and then you have to build your own systems, and then you have to do Zapier or some sort of automation. It was just a shit show. Now, if there's something wrong, I can see it. Then I can sort of put together the plan because I know what I'm doing. I don't need the AI to put together a plan. I can do the plan, but then he can do what the sort of the execution of the plan, which was the most tedious, time consuming stuff. We are, as a general rule, people are smart but slow, and computers are dumb but fast. So if I'm smart and I then tell the computer do this, it will do it really fast and really well because it's my idea. So I gave it to him, and then the execution is amazing. If I let him do both things, so think and execute, I don't think that's a good idea because computers are generally dumb, and they will, especially AI, will revert to the mean. So will revert to what the average person would do. But a little bit of your sauce, and then you let it do everything. It's great. It works. I run my business like that. It's
One thing
awesome.
I always tell everybody, particularly about AI, is if you don't give a detailed enough prompt, AI will fill in the blanks. And that's where people go wrong.
Yes.
So, like, when I'm prompting AI, sometimes I have like a 6-page prompt. You know what I mean? That's how detailed I go.
Yeah.
And that's why the AI performs better because you have to, if any information that you don't give it, it'll fill it in with whatever is like most common. You know what I mean? In most cases, that doesn't
Yes.
apply to what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say it reverts to the mean. I had a friend and he called AI the average machine, where it basically says, well, it predicts things and it has so much data that it's probably going to revert to what a normal thing would be. And then for what, like a quantum leap for me, maybe the listeners will be helped by this. A quantum leap for me was you mentioned that the 6-page prompt, right? When I started using projects, so for me, most of the time, I use Claude these days. But you can do this with Grok or ChatGPT, and any of those. They're all roughly the same. Like obviously, some small shit is different, but you can do roughly the same. When I'm talking about LLMs, right? And then if you put together the project and you dump the necessary data in there. So I got a client. They do this. This is their margin. This is what we're looking for. These are the sort of the things that we did in the past. These ads we're running. This is the landing page. Now it has a gigantic amount of data, and your results will obviously be better because it's tailored to them instead of just some random business or a million random businesses. That's going to suck. So yeah, I fully agree, 100%. You need to give it context, or else it's going to suck most likely.
One thing that we have begun doing in Brain AI, and I know you're big into SEO as well in the campus anyway, and a lot of the guys in our group that we're in are also doing SEO. Well, we have gotten more into AI search. And last week, I had 2 of my customers get recommended by ChatGPT because I'm having them ask everybody who calls them, where'd you come from? Like, where did you find me? And the cool thing about that is when they're recommended, so they've been recommended now a total of 3 times, but each time has been 100% sale. Like, so the customer's already sold.
Really?
When ChatGPT,
Man, that's awesome.
So, and what we're doing,
it's such a growing thing. No, it's such a growing field as well. And I think, as with every technology, I've seen this. Obviously, I'm an old white man. I'm 41. So, you know the feeling. Yes. Well, I mean, you know the feeling. Like you see all these technologies. Like I saw the start of email. I saw YouTube. The first year of YouTube this was when I was in high school, and I saw that get sold, and I saw that go big. Meta ads, Google ads, all of those things, right? You see them coming up, and then you know that in the beginning when that's happening, and the beginning could be the first 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 6, 7 years but the beginning is quite broad. That's where the big opportunities are. And I think with AI search, we're seeing that as well. It's becoming so popular. It's growing so fast that now is the time to get into that and to get that sorted. for companies as well as guys that want to do this for companies. So it's a massive opportunity. Would definitely look into that, and we're putting together the lessons for it in the university as well, because it's so
Well, if you
important.
need any help, I'm here for you. But there's one thing we're
Yes,
also
perfect.
doing, which well, because we're a full service company. So it's one thing to
Yeah.
show up, it's another thing to miss the call. So we have an AI agent that
Yes.
answers every call and is fully programmed on that business and books directly into a Google or whatever kind of calendar you're running. So and then we have an
Cool.
SMS agent that follows up, and I'm sure you saw in the group, but it gets reviews like crazy. So every time a
Yeah, that was
customer does a
awesome, man.
job, the SMS sends out a message, and it keeps bugging them until they leave a review. And if the review is anything less than 5 star, the agent comes back to the owner of the company so that they can fix whatever went wrong. So all we get is 5 star
Oh,
reviews. It's a really
that's a really
yeah,
good
it's
system.
great, and as you know,
Yeah.
that's what these things run on. So when the AI is looking to recommend somebody, they are looking at a trust score that they come up with. So like everything has to be set up right. Your name has to be the same on your website, the same on your Google business page, same on your social media, and
Yep.
your reviews. We once a review comes in on Google, we make sure it gets posted on Facebook and onto LinkedIn as well. So
Cool.
and
Yeah.
then also we do daily blog posts on websites for our clients, which helps as well. And daily it's actually a much more complex system than just
Yeah.
doing the old SEO that used to require like one post a week would be good, right? We're doing every day.
Yeah. 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 That would be. You would beat almost
Yeah,
everyone with that.
we're doing
Just that.
every single day.
No, uniformity and congruity is extremely important, and it really the machine really likes it if everything
Yeah.
is the same, because then it's good. Doesn't even have to make sense. But yeah, and you can make it. We had a student. I don't know if you saw this in the campus years and years ago. As a joke, I ranked myself for most handsome man in Maastricht, which was the city I lived in. And it was a joke. So when people would ask me who I was or what I did, I would give them, so Google this, and then I would show up. And then I told this, offhand. And then I had a student about a week ago, and he said, "Hey, you should look this up." And I looked it up, and he's now ranking for that exact keyword. So he built a website, and it doesn't make any fucking sense, right? But just because the website says it, and I don't know, maybe his reviews, his blog posts say it, the machine is like, yeah, well, obviously this is true.
That's hilarious.
Funny.
But in today's current marketing geography, what do you think is the biggest lie or the biggest mistake that all businesses seem to think that just is no longer correct in today's scheme of things?
Oh, it's a good question. Uh, I think I think a lot of businesses are still stuck in how things were like a decade ago. And then for a while, especially for, let's say, local businesses, for a while, it made a lot more sense to just, for example, buy leads from one big website, because otherwise you would never be found. And in the meantime, with the advent of AI, with Google local search, with things becoming more fragmented, it makes so much more sense to make sure that you as a company get found by people that are looking for your stuff. And it's so cheap as well. You can run ads, local ads. You can be found locally. You can make sure that the AI finds you locally. Because in general, if I'm looking for a roofer in, I don't know, Houston, that's roughly what I'm going to put in my AI. Probably it's going to be in my neighborhood. It's so easy to sort of start ranking for that. And yet there are still people out there, the majority of businesses, just buying leads and depending on like third party platforms uh, trying to bid for a lead, a ton of people just buying leads, and then the leads have been called by 17 other people as
And
well.
annoying.
You can, I mean, it's a whole new
Yeah.
world.
Have you seen? I'm sure you have. This is going to be a stupid question, but when we post on people's Google business page, you use the roofer as an example.
Yeah,
We have our clients take pictures from their job sites, which have tags on the photos of where they're taken, and we post
yeah,
those uh, weekly, daily on the Google business page. So when somebody else in that neighborhood searches,
yes,
they
yes.
pop up on Google Maps and on their search. So that's another way
100%.
that
Yeah, very clever. Yes. The algorithm has gotten so smart that a lot of this stuff is just it's just really to take care of or to have it taken care of for you. And the they made it possible for smaller businesses to actually compete or outperform large gigantic businesses just by being local, which is also what we want. Like if I'm looking for a coffee shop near me, I just want a coffee shop. I don't really care if it's a Starbucks or a Costa coffee. I don't give. I don't. I just want coffee. You know, just give me 5 coffee shops. It's so easy to rank, and then people all assume, well, let me not even try because Starbucks is going to outcompete me. No, they're not. You can actually win.
yeah, it's easier than they think, and like
Yes.
you said, it's not as expensive as they think. Like I know what our prices are, and they're very very cost effective, even compared to running ads.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it does take a little bit of time before it starts working. But we we have people showing up. This is like month two of us working for them. We're two
Yeah.
weeks into month two, and they're showing up in Chat GPT. So there's not a lot
No,
of
it's true.
people doing what we're doing. So like the time, like you said, the time is now. The opportunities are out there.
100%. And then, like even for this point, right? Like where even if we think it might take some time. I mean, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks. Even if it takes 6 months, even if it takes a year, like you're going to be in business for a while. So might as well get this sorted. You know?
Yeah.
And then maybe it takes 6 months, but it's worth it because obviously, otherwise, in 6 months, you're still not found. So and
And,
someone else is taking
and
those
in the
clients.
meantime,
Someone is being found.
you could run ads and then you're found right away while this is happening in the background. Then after
Sure.
2 months, you don't have to run ads anymore and your calls keep
Yes.
coming. And while all those
Yes.
ads were running, you're getting all those reviews popping up. Your business is booming. So you could keep running ads and show up organically. It's
It's an
just,
upward cycle. It really is. Yes.
yeah.
But it does start with you doing something. Uh, like no one accidentally gets found everywhere and gets into the upward cycle. That doesn't happen. You have to do shit.
Yeah. Which brings me into my next question, which is another one of your specialties in business mastery. Uh, I want to talk about a little bit of the psychology and why people buy and
Yeah.
sales in general, why we should appeal to their emotion over logic sometimes. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
I think sales to a large extent when I look at transactions being made every day and stuff that I buy, stuff that I sell, I think sales to a large extent comes down to removing obstacles and making it an easy decision for them. Which paradoxically, you would think that as we progress in time, sales becomes more developed and the market becomes more discerning and it becomes harder. And that is not true. Like if anything, it's easier now than it was before because you're competing against just a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. So just like the simple example I gave earlier of the events, if you just reply, you could hypothetically, theoretically get an AI to reply really quickly, right? I guess that's possible. You could just do that.
that's
And
actually
then
what my clients do. They
yes,
like a lot of my clients. So I came out of the trades. I was a plumber. I owned a plumbing company, a landscape company, a pool company, rebar company. I owned a number of different trades businesses. I still own the rebar company to this day. It's still making money, but what I've always noticed is when I'm on a job and I'm busy, my hands are full, and I miss a call, the people aren't leaving a message and waiting for me to call them back. They're hanging up, going to the next guy on Google. So that's a main problem that I wanted to solve for trades guys like me. Let's not miss that call. Let's have an AI answer the call, book it in, send an SMS to confirm the booking, and you just keep doing your job. So that's a big part of what I do. And the AI search came in afterwards because I was coming across a lot of guys. Okay, now I'm not missing any calls, but how do I get the phone to ring? That's
Yes.
where I went back into your stuff, business mastery, and started looking at SEO and doing my own research outside of the
Yeah, of
campus as
course.
well, and looking
Yeah.
at AI search. And my opinion was that's going to take over everything. Like soon, people aren't going to. Even Google is getting rid of the search bar. They're going to just have Gemini recommending companies. So if you're not set up
Yeah.
for that, you could be in big trouble. And it's going to be to the point where you can search for A and B roofing, for instance. And if A and B roofing doesn't have a good trust score, Google's just going to recommend a better competitor that does. And it might not even be a better competitor. It's just a better set up competitor.
Yeah.
So they
It's
could be
better
searching
in the
your
eyes of the
company and
machine.
not find you.
Yeah. Yeah, the machine has no idea, right? It's just better in the eyes of the machine. The
Yeah,
machine doesn't know better. It doesn't. It has no judgment. It's just basically, oh, these people are more congruent. Better advise these people, you know, and that's about it.
for sure.
So I agree with that. And then if you could, because obviously most of the sales that we make are because someone wants to solve an issue, a problem that they're having, and it's usually an annoying thing. So, for example, I had an issue with my car, and it got solved in the most horrendous, retarded way. So I decided, all right, I'll get a new car then, because it just annoyed me, and I gave them the chance to make it right, and they didn't. Says, okay, all right, you can have your car back. I'll just buy a new one. Right? I was leasing it, and then the lease company fucked up, and then I tell them, hey, listen, please, what I'm telling you is, if you stay with your current decision, I will leave. And then they basically said, yeah, sure, okay, it's done, it's done. You get your car anyway. Piss me off, but an AI would have done a better job, by the way. Anyway, there's many such cases, but like they, you're always buying because you're trying to solve an issue. Right now, I'm going to buy a car. And then obviously I'm going to go through some stages of, okay, what kind of car? What do I want in a car? So I kind of figured that out. So now I'm ready to sort of get in touch with dealerships and basically say, all right, let me book me in for a test drive. I want to see this car. And then I'm not going to lie, I'm already annoyed at this because I know it's going to be a horrible experience. And because it always is. Like salespeople are the worst. You know, it's going to be a mess planning that in, and then the guy is going to be annoying, and then I'm supposed to negotiate. Like the more annoying stuff you can take away, the easier it is to make the sale. And in this case, a lot of it is, let's say you respond quickly, then you give all the information in time, then you talk to them like an actual human being, and then before you know it, you make the sale. Not because you're a brilliant salesperson, but because you know that we're trying to solve a problem. I want to get there as soon as possible. I have an entire lifetime of dealing with salespeople that are annoying, and I just want to get there. Please help me get there. And if you do that, you got the sale. You don't have to be a brilliant salesperson. Just have to look at the obstacles in the way and then sort of figure out how do I solve that as easily as possible for the prospect.
I would love for you to solve your problem too, so I could stop waking up to 13,000 messages about your new car.
I wanted to buy the Maserati. I
Yeah.
wanted to buy the Maserati, and then I sort of suggested it. I said, "Hey, this is a cool car. Should I buy this?" And then my entire inbox blew up by by endless people telling me, do not buy a Maserati. It's a shit car. If you look at the review score, apparently it has a 1.7 out of 10, the Maserati.
Really?
I swear to God. I thought it was a cool car. It's still a cool car. It just, half the time it doesn't work, apparently.
Yeah.
I should buy two. So if one stops, I can take the other one.
Isn't that the real reason why Tate had so many supercars? Because
It actually is.
they
You know
break
it's
down a
actually
lot.
true. It actually is. I remember being there once, and I think he wanted to show the McLaren or something, and then he tried to start it and just didn't do anything. And I'm like, is this like what is happening? And he said, yeah, sometimes they do this. We'll call them and they'll pick it up. Yes, it happens. We'll take one of the others. Okay. I don't know how much a McLaren costs, but if I don't know, let's say it's a I don't know $500,000 car. If I spend 500K, the thing better start. Pisses me off if my 500K car doesn't start. Would piss me off.
Hey, I had a Ford, and it always started, never let me down. And so I
Yes.
don't know. I like Ford. I had a nice Mustang though. It was pretty not
Ah,
a,
beautiful car.
yeah, yeah. Mine was
Yes.
a Roush supercharged, but it never let me down once. It had
Man.
the horsepower, 780 horsepower, so it was fast. And
Yeah. I don't care about horsepower at all. Like I'm the weirdest guy in terms of cars. I don't care about horsepower, engine size. Don't care. I just want it to be comfortable and be cool. So now I've sort of arrived at a BMW or an Audi. It's going to be one of those two, and I've just decided not to look at any other cars. So I'm just going to pretend like you didn't talk about the Ford Mustang because I think that's a cool car. I'm not even going to consider it. Otherwise, I'll be deciding forever.
my daughter is named after it too. Her name's Shelby.
Oh my god! I remember I was in Las Vegas once, and we rented cars, and one of my friends rented the Mustang Shelby GT or something.
ET
It was such
500.
a Oh my god, it was such a beast of a car, just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Well, you've seen Gone
Yes,
in
I had a
60
Dodge
seconds,
Viper.
right?
Yes, just insane. I had a Dodge Viper. I remember the Viper had rear wheel drive, and it was borderline impossible to drive because
Yeah.
you would hit the gas and it would start swerving immediately. Wild.
Yeah, you sure couldn't drive it in any kind of wet weather or snow.
Oh my
That's for
god,
sure.
no. We actually it was bad because we decided to drive from Vegas to the Grand Canyon, and my colleague said it was about a 2 hour drive, and it turned out to be a 6 hour drive. He slightly miscalculated. So we're driving, and the guy had asked me, like, "Do you want to?" When we took it in the morning, you want to get the top off or on? And I said, "Man, obviously off. Like like it's going to be beautiful weather. Let's do it." So top is off. It was a hard top, so it stayed there. Right? So we're in the Grand Canyon. We get something to eat, and there were signs everywhere saying, careful of the icy roads. But this is like beautiful, beautiful weather, summer. It's great. And then we start driving back, and it is so cold, so insanely cold all of a sudden. And I had the top off, so then I had to drive 6 hours back in the freezing cold in my Dodge Viper. It was horrendous.
Well, it
Would
didn't
not
have like
recommend 2 out of 11.
didn't have a place like to store the top in the car. Most convertibles you can store the top right in the car.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the thing. It was just a hard top. So he took it off and he put it next to the car, and obviously, you couldn't store it. So no, that was not a thing.
I had a
Never
Corvette and
could.
it had a hard top, but the top was so small that like I could
Ah,
pick it up and put it right in the trunk, and it had like this little spot where it clicked right in the trunk, so it held it, and you could still use the
okay,
trunk.
that's cool.
Yeah.
No, no, the Viper didn't have that luxury. No.
Oh well. All right. I'm gonna ask you about a few different things, and I'm just curious where you think they will be in 5 years. Like I kind of like a rapid fire thing.
All right. Well, okay. Yes.
First things first. Websites.
Ooh, websites. are going to be mostly outdated. I probably, most likely, AI will put them together. Website builders are absolutely cooked if you don't use AI. So yes,
We're already building us. My company is building websites in an hour. Uh,
obviously, yes, yes.
salespeople. I already know your opinion on it, but I'd like to hear where you think they are in 5 years with the advancement of AI.
We should have about 20% of salespeople that we have now. So 80% should be phased out.
Call centers.
Huh, call centers are cooked.
I,
Oh my god.
I'd be happy
I
to
can't
step
even.
in and cook them myself.
Oh my god. No, if you're in a call center now, good luck, bro. Ah,
Marketing agencies.
same thing with sales. I think 20% should be able to absorb 80% of the market. The only thing that I can see happening is that the only way that I can see the same amount of marketing agencies exist is if you get a ton of local agencies. So if I work in, I don't know, South Side Chicago, I'm going to have my agency working for all South Side Chicago businesses. But yes, there's going to be a decimation there as well.
SEO in general. Do you think that's even going to be a thing anymore? Is it all going to be AI search and GEO?
I think I think for a couple more decades, SEO is going to be a thing because different generations get used to different tech at different paces. So you will see, like Facebook still exists, and then you could very easily argue that Facebook shouldn't exist anymore because it's just 40 to 50-year-old women doing things. But they're going to be on there until they die. So I wouldn't surprise me if Facebook was still here over in 20 years from now, still doing its thing. And obviously, if, by the way, if you're running ads to that like that the demographic audience, it's Facebook is great. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna kill it there. There's also for the trades, it's still a great thing to be on there. So yeah, it's still gonna be there. It's just over time, SEO search is most likely taking over. Yeah.
You can really trigger some people on Facebook by posting Tate content.
I would not recommend doing that. Yes.
I do it all the time. I don't care. I got a client base now. I don't have to be so
Yes.
nice anymore.
Yes. I
Before I had to
completely.
be nice and be careful what I posted, but now I just don't care. It's like you don't want to hire me because I support Tate, and don't hire me. Chances
That's
are we
all
wouldn't
good.
work well together anyway.
This is also true though. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Social media in general. Where do you think social media is in 5 years?
I think social media is not going anywhere. I think that is really strong. And if I look at the new generation, that the most active generation on there, you see people use TikTok. You see a gigantic wave of user generated content, UGC stuff. TikTok shopping is extremely popular. Will stay that way as well. I think if anything, I think social media is going to get bigger as AI grows. Social media is going to get bigger. The influencer thing is going to get bigger because we hunger for actual human connection. And I don't like. I'm of the opinion, could be wrong, but I'm of the opinion that we will never see the rise of AI influencers in the way that a human influencer would be followed. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right.
See, I'll show you my latest video. It's getting pretty good. You can't. I
But
posted
you're a
it.
real person, though.
No, no.
Like you can,
I'm using
like you.
An AI avatar though.
So it's not. It doesn't look like you.
It looks exactly like me and sounds like me.
So it is. So you're a real person.
Yeah, but I can make it look
So
like
if
anybody.
Kanye, I know, but if Kanye makes a Kanye AI version of himself and he sits in his studio and he does things, it's probably going to do well because people are going to assume it's Kanye. But if I make Yannick, another black rapper that no one knows, if it's an AI person, I don't think it's not going to work out, bro.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, do you think actual humans? are still going to take hours out of their day, shoot content, edit content, when they could simply give someone like me a script and I can make it look like them, sound like them in seconds. And they could have, because one thing I'm selling is I'm not selling my services, I'm selling you your time back.
I get it. Yeah, no, I'm with you. If I see the type of content that does quite well, take there's a kid. He's called Speed. Have you ever seen the guy?
I don't
I
know,
am
maybe.
Speed or something. Yes, he's like a streamer, and
Oh,
his
yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah. I've seen
right,
him.
and he does backflips, and his whole entire thing is he does these streams, and they last for hours, and just kids sit there in front of the computer and they look at it. Kai Sanat is another dude. They play video games and they talk about the most random dumb shit. The speed kid jumps over a car and then he meets someone and then he meets another person and he just walks the street and he acts all surprised at the most mundane stuff. So his whole entire thing is him just existing in the world and the chance that you'll ever run into him. That's his whole entire thing. And I think that will stay in existence. The UGC stuff, I don't know. That could be a prime candidate for for takeover by AI. On the other hand, I live in Amsterdam, right? And it's well, you've been here. It's I live in a certain part of the city where a lot of influencers live as well because it's expensive as shit. So you walk outside, at any given day, I probably see 5 or 6 influencers. Now I know no influencers, but for someone that follows it, it's very exciting if you come across your favorite creator. And my opinion is, if we if we embrace the whole AI avatar stuff of people that aren't real, there's no chance of that ever happening. So I don't see that popularizing. About the question, like, are you going to get a mix of AI generated stuff and non AI? Maybe that's very possible. I think I think it's the same thing that people got afraid of in the '80s. Remember Milli Vanilli, the two
Yeah,
rappers?
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Lip
they
syncing.
got absolutely cooked. They got fucked because they couldn't sing. Remember, they had like a voiceover or something. And I would if I was a creator, I would be afraid of that happening. I would be afraid of someone saying, "Man, he's using AI," and then my whole image goes to shit. Maybe the world will change and that will be acceptable. I don't know. Could be.
Well, what I generally use it for, it's not really to like fool people in that manner, but say you're an electrician. You don't have time to shoot content. You're a real estate agent. You don't have time for this, but you want to be on social media every day getting your message across because that's how people,
Yep.
like, you drill it into their head day after day. Hey, I'm here. I do this job. And then, oh shit, my pipe just burst. Oh, I keep seeing this guy on my feed. Let's call him. You know what I mean? Just
Yes.
so that's kind of what I'm using it for, more than like replacing real content, is for people who don't have time to shoot that content, or people who don't want to spend that time to shoot that content, but still build their brand and still get their message out there.
I get it. Yes. So obviously it's not your day job, nor
Yeah.
is it your passion. But yes, it has to be done anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
And it's part of the overall system of AI search is you got to be posting daily content, and that's part of it.
You have to be there when they look for you. At that time, it has to be fresh. You can't be showing up with shit from April when it's October. No,
Yeah.
it's true.
All right, next one. AI employees.
Ooh. Um, as an agent,
Yeah, like, so say for instance my phone agents, my SMS agents, my review agents. What do
it's
you where do you think
okay.
they'll be in 5 years?
It's a great question. My let's say doubt is that I wonder how many people get to the point where they would be able to use that effectively. I genuinely wonder. So if let's say you're a plumber do in 5 years from now, do you get to the point where you're like, oh man, I gotta do my VAT. Let me ask my VAT bot to do that. Do you ever get there? I don't think you'll ever get there. I genuinely still think he's going to ask his accountant. And then if the accountant is not retarded, he has the bot. Obviously, okay, click, click, done. Woo, we're done. But I don't see a business owner do that at all. So when in terms of employees, I don't know. In 5 years, is that I think the people that are paid now to do that work, they will be using it because otherwise you just get phased out. But are they going to develop the technological acumen to do that? I doubt it.
What do you think about the robots that China and Elon are building? Do you think they're going to have the capabilities that are being predicted by Elon in particular, as opposed
No,
like
not even close. I love Elon. We if you're in Amsterdam and you see a Tesla, they all have the sticker on the back saying "I bought this before Elon went crazy." Because they're lefties. Every single one of them, bro. It's wild. No, I like Elon. He's great. He's a great marketer as well. The man sort of predicts the future, and obviously the future is very Tesla-esque and very electric. And whatever he's making, that's the future. So I like that. I respect that about him. I don't think 5 years from now we don't have robots. 10 years from now, maybe it's starting. Maybe, but I still doubt it. I think we're way further off than is being predicted. Yes, I think so.
I
I like
think
our
I would I think
self-driving
I would
cars.
disagree with you on that one. Just because
Okay.
of the way they're advancing. Like I'm in the space and I see where we were 6 months ago to where we are today has changed so drastically.
Yeah.
And to imagine it might slow down, I think we're already getting to a place where with Claude Code you can build almost anything. So
Yes.
if that continues, where does that stop as far as the robots go? And when the robots can code themselves and build themselves, how fast does that progress? So that's my thoughts on it.
No. I get that, and I'm with you. I do see a point where all of this shit slows down dramatically. I see a point where the hardware becomes too expensive, or the model becomes so complicated that we just don't have the data, so we have to increase prices. I do see that happening as a possibility, but I hope I'm wrong because I think the robots are really cool and I want my own robot. So I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to get a robot. It's going to be in the background. It's going to be great.
You can order one right now. They got some nice looking Chinese robots out there that real
You're not
faces and
talking about
everything.
female robots or
Yeah, 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 yeah,
oh my God. Now that I have a
yeah.
wife, I don't think she will like that. I like my wife. She's way better than a robot.
Yeah. What do you think is the most overrated marketing strategy today?
Whew. Most overrated marketing strategy. I think I think anything centering around brand building, like traditional brand building. So these are our colors, and this are our website, and this is our letterhead, and this is our logo. All of that dumb shit. It's mostly useless because we just want to connect with actual real people. That's what we want to do. Well, I want to know that you're real. The thing, if you look at the McDonald's guy, the McDonald's CEO, he was recording videos of himself eating hamburgers for I don't know months or years. At some point, the the big arch he eats that thing went semi-viral. It went semi-viral because it was finally some sort of a glimpse of humanity from the guy, and we like that. So I think the main priority should be that you connecting with the audience instead of the brand book with the colors and all of that good stuff. So I think that I also think to a large extent franchising is very overrated. especially in today's economy. Almost everything that the franchise owner can do, you can do yourself and better because we want to connect with real people.
I agree. One thing that I've started doing, because there's so much AI and because AI is doing so much outreach for people, I've gone back
Yeah.
to cold calling. I like whenever I have some free
Yes.
time, I just jump on some cold calls and just call some local businesses and talk to them like a human. And
It works.
I found that to be very effective actually because they're getting so many bot outreaches now that they're more responsive to a real human.
Yes, and I think that's sort of the dichotomy of AI. It's why I think influencers have a future, social media has a future. It's on the one hand, you make it much easier to reach a massive audience, but on the other hand, the massive audience is going to get pissed off because everyone's reaching out to them. So now, if there's finally a real human, we really appreciate that, even if it's a salesperson, which
Yeah.
used to be the worst kind of person in the world.
But now they're
The
happy.
worst. Yeah.
Oh, you're a human. Okay, I'll talk to you.
Yes, finally. Yes.
What do you think is the biggest mistake young entrepreneurs are making just going out and trying to start their businesses today?
I think the main mistake for young business people is exactly what we've been talking about. So you hide behind the screen and you sit in your basement and you've been sort of brainwashed with Facebook and Uber and companies that get venture capital. So you just have to sit and code, and then everything will take care of itself. When in reality, if you would go out and actually look at the businesses that are doing well and that have made it really really big, you will probably notice that all of these people are excellent salespeople and excellent marketers, and they talk to a fuck ton of people. I mean, the story about Bill Gates is quite famous, even though a lot of people still never look it up. But the guy is just a really solid salesman. He's many other things as well. But if you look at the early history, he's a really solid salesman. Let's stick to that. And there's many such examples. Like the Steve Jobs, brilliant marketer, just a brilliant marketer, just so good at that, just able to feel the pulse of the audience. And the only way you get to feel the pulse of the audience is by talking to a lot of people. So I think the main mistake is just hiding away in the basement like Joe Biden and just sitting there and coding, hoping that something is going to happen. You really have to make it happen. You have to happen to the world so the world doesn't happen to you.
I think I agree with that 100% as well because I think what made my company actually work is I did the job of the people I'm trying to sell to
Yeah.
before I started an AI company. I was a tradesman. So when I get on a
Yes.
call with these guys, they see I got a beard. I'm an older guy. Like I'm not a guy that learned the tech, and then jumped on some YouTube videos to figure out how their business works. I lived
Yes.
their problem first. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so
What
important
is
because
one book? Sorry, go on.
no, no, go
What
ahead.
is
I
one
think
book that you think every entrepreneur should read
oh
before
yes,
they start their business?
I think the E Myth, Emyth by Michael Gerber. It is it is quite old. I think he wrote it in the 70s or the 80s, I believe. And I think everyone that I recommended that book that actually read it really likes it because it's a very practical way of building a company, and it teaches you things that you're going to run into guaranteed if you don't read it. Every single business owner has this moment where you're like, man, it's getting too busy. I need to hire someone. And you have no idea what you're doing because you're running the business and you're working in the business constantly. So now you're trying to hire someone. And then you obviously make the wrong choice because, I mean, that's hard in the best of circumstances, let alone if you're stressed out of your mind. And then you make a choice, you make the wrong choice, and then you make a wrong choice again, and eventually you get sort of disappointed in people. The E Myth picks that up and basically shows you how to do this the right way and how to move away from working in the business to on the business. it's such a solid book, and it's still relevant after, I don't know, let's say it's 50 years ago that it was made. It's so good.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. I've
It's so
never
good.
read it.
Michael Gerber, The E-Myth, highly recommend. It's such a, whenever you read it, doesn't matter which stage of the business you're in, you're gonna find things and you're like, yep, that's me, that's me. And it was 50 years ago. That's amazing. Yes,
One last question.
sure.
I know you've been in a few different industries, including real estate marketing, all these other things. You lose everything today. You have none of
Yes,
your contacts, none of it. You have to start again from scratch. What would you do and how would you do it? Briefly.
yes, yes. So I keep the knowledge, right, that I have.
Yes.
All right. I definitely I would start a marketing agency. I would start a marketing agency. I would reach out to local businesses, and I would start selling local SEO, regular SEO, Google Ads, Meta Ads, AI SEO. I would start selling that, and I would go hard on cold outreach. I would go hard on emails, phone, in person. I would just go nuts because I would have to sort of make up for a lot of monthly income now that I've lost everything. So I would go hard. I would basically tell my kids and my wife, like, you're not going to see me for the next 3 months. I'm going to be out. And then I'm going to start scoring retainers, basically working with businesses, telling them, hey, let me handle this for you. You could hire a marketing guy, but you could also hire me for, I don't know, 1/5 of the price, and I'll do a better job. Let's do this together. Let's roll. And that's, I think that's what I would do.
Okay. And just for the young guys out there, because I know a lot of them think they're doing enough outreach, and I personally don't think they're doing enough outreach. How many outreaches do you think you need to do per day in order to get enough experience just sheerly talking to people before you get the sale or start getting sales?
Yes, way more than you now think. Like whatever number you have in your mind right now, it's probably going to be at least 3x, probably 5x, most likely 10x of what you're thinking right now. When I started out in real estate, I knew nothing basically. So, and I had plenty of time because you have no clients, so you have all the time in the world. So I started reaching out to for sale by owners, people that were selling their own home, and there were maybe 5 or 6 or 7 new ones I could find every day. So okay, that's 5, 6, 7, and then at some point I started just cold calling. So I would cold call 100 people a day, every day, which is not hard to do. Like 100 dials, that's not a lot of work because some people don't pick up the phone. Most conversations are going to be short. And then I still had time left, so I would go door knocking. Just drive to some random neighborhood, get out of the car, and just do 300, 400 doors. That will take you hours and hours and hours of walking, by the way. Don't think I would recommend that. It was inefficient. But I talked to so many people. So I think if you add it all up, I talked to 400 people a day or something, and that goes really quickly. Then you get really good at sales really quickly. You get really good at speaking. You get plenty of opportunities. You get plenty of no's. People will tell you to fuck off a lot, and that's good for the soul as well. Build some resilience. But yeah, you need to do way more.
Amazing. Well, that's everything I got for today, Arno. I wanted to say thank you very much for coming on. And I'm
No problem.
sure that I hope that everybody who watches this gets as much out of it as I did. And yeah, thank you.
All right, appreciate it, man. Really good being here, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, we will for sure. It's another episode of the Braincast with Arno, professor of business mastery, the best professor in TRW.
Braincast.